Hey guys, it's Bailey from Making It for the Midwest, and this is going to be a haul. Recently, a lot of you guys have asked to incorporate reviews in these kinds of videos, which really only makes sense because sometimes I don't have time to get to reviews of some of the individual products, and I don't want to leave you hanging, so in this haul, what I'm actually going to do is include both reviews and swatches of all these products, with one exception. At the end of the video, you'll see that there will be a product that a lot of you have been asking for reviews for, and so I'm going to make a separate video on that because you'll see. You'll know what I'm talking about at the end. So with that, let's get into it. A lot of you really like e.l.f. hauls. They're an affordable company and some of their products are super standout. However, some of them aren't, and because they are online, it's hard to know what's good and what's not before you actually buy and you get it in your home and you find out you either really love it or you really kind of don't. So because there are a few brands that are similarly priced with products that are just as great, I thought I would dive more into those and give you some great products, great prices, and some that I'm actually really loving. So first brand, let's start with City Color Cosmetics. This is a brand that came in last month's Ipsy, and I actually got one of their Be Matte blushes. They also offered a discount code, so I took advantage of that and ordered quite a few of their Be Matte blushes. First of all, this is the one I got in my Ipsy bag. It is in the shade Fresh Melon. I love this so much that I was compelled to buy quite a few more, but it didn't break the bank because these top out at $2.99 a blush, so they're super affordable, and we all know that it can be kind of hard to find affordable matte blushes that apply really evenly. They don't look chalky on your face, and so I got quite a few. I have here Blackberry, which is a mauve, Toasted Coconut, which is a great matte contour color, and very similar to another matte blush that I got in this collection, which is Papaya. I would say that despite being called Papaya, it's still very neutral. Both of them I would use for contour shades, this one being cooler, this one being a little warmer. And then finally, for a great little pop of color, I got Dragon Fruit, obviously a great bright bubblegum pink. All of these had pretty great color payoff. They blend easily. I'm actually wearing Toasted Coconut as a contour today. You'll see the blush that I'm wearing in a separate brand that I talk about, but Toasted Coconut for the contour today, really like it. Every single one of these has really great pigmentation. They apply very smoothly, not chalky, not cakey. They stay all day. I haven't had one that wore off and I was wondering where it went. And so it's really great to see that they are all very similar in quality to the one that I got in my Ipsy bag. It's very representative of how the line is as a whole, and they are super affordable. If you haven't tried them already, I really recommend them, especially if you love a good matte blush. Something else I decided to pick up from the brand were their matte lipsticks, and I had already tried one in Ultra Pink before, fell in love with it, but just decided not to get any more because I was preoccupied with something else clearly. So I decided these, again, I think were the same prices as these blushes. Yeah, they are $2.99 per a lipstick, and I picked up the shade Taupe, which is a medium nude shade, Ultimate Pink, which is kind of a bright bubblegummy pink shade, a little bit less fuchsia than the one that I had originally tried here, although I'm sure you can't tell a difference at all. Coral, which is an aptly named bright coral. Pink, which is a little less subdued, less bright than Ultimate Pink, which I have here on my right. Salmon, perfectly named bright salmon. And what I'm currently wearing on my lips right now, which is Melon. Now, with all of these shades, they have great pigmentation. Probably the best aspect or best quality of these is that they have amazing pigmentation. The brights are super bright, they have great color payoff, and yet the neutrals that I'm currently wearing on my lips are also, they don't get lost or muddied in anything. However, with a lot of matte lipsticks, whether they're high-end or drugstore, there can be some dryness, and that is definitely the case with these. They're not very forgiving when it comes to lips that are already kind of dry, flaky, things like that. If your lips aren't in top condition, these aren't for you. They don't have a lot of slip when you apply them, so they do tug a little bit. You have to work with them to get even coverage. You can't count on them to add moisture, which is really hard for any matte lipstick, I would say, high-end or drugstore, but especially with these. Even still, like I said, the pigmentation is fantastic, so if you're looking for a super affordable matte lipstick and you're not worried about dry lips, anything like that, give these a go because they're not bad for the price and they have great pigmentation across the board. So that is everything from City Color. I also got a few things from BH Cosmetics. They were having a pretty big sale, so they're affordable as it is, but once they had the sale, everything got even more affordable. So I tried some of their duo blushes, which I hadn't yet tried before, and these, I'm not sure what they're normally priced at, but I got some of them for $2.50, some of them for $3.50. When it comes to blushes, these are just about as good as e.l.f. and just about as good as City Color. So I gave these a go as well. I got the shades Daisy, and and is the duo I'm currently wearing today on my cheeks, in addition to the matte contour from City Color. So Daisy contains a matte soft pink with a hint of mauve and a highlight, kind of a light or golden champagne highlight on the other side. Rose, which is one of the most beautiful I've seen. On one side you have a shimmery rose color, and on the other is sort of a medium highlight shade. I wouldn't use it as a contour, but it's not super as bright as you might think of for a shimmery, an ultra shimmery highlight shade. Iris, which has a deep matte berry shade alongside a shimmery pink highlight shade, or it could even be a soft shimmery pink blush. And Lilac, which is a light pastel pink paired with a soft kind of pink hued highlight. I love the packaging on all of these. They're a nice sturdy cardboard that comes with a nice sized mirror inside there, and you get a ton of product. I mean, this is the size of the blush, this is the size, you just get a ton of product inside here, which is also great given the price. Much like the City Color blushes, I think the quality of these is really nice and surprisingly consistent across the board. The mattes applied really nicely, the shimmers applied really nicely. The only thing with the shimmers is that some of them they're very fine. None of them have chunky glitter or anything, but they do have, you have to be very light-handed with them because these are very powdery in that when you put a brush in them, they do kind of kick up a lot of product. So when it comes to highlight, you can tend to get a little too much, and instead of being this soft shimmery effect, it's more of an opaque. It gets a little more opaque, which is a little unnatural looking for a highlight. That's one thing you have to be careful of with these, but for price and quality, I would say it's not an issue at all. They also had a deal where you got the brand new Forever Nude palette along with a lipstick and a kabuki brush. So these are the other two things I got from BH Cosmetics. Starting with the Forever Nude first. Inside here, I'm sure a lot of people have seen, but it comes in a pretty nice plastic packaging with a huge mirror you can see there. And then inside you get 6 eyeshadows, 6 eyeshadows, 1 matte powder. I'm not really sure if this is an eyeshadow, if it's it's just like a general use cream color, 2 lip products, and then 2 cheek products as well, all following a very soft, neutral, romantic, pinky purple sort of vibe. Starting with the eyeshadows, with the exception of this soft cream, shimmery cream color here and this large cream color here, the rest are stellar, and the cream colors are not hard to come by elsewhere, but you get this lilac kind of gold duochrome, 2 coppers, one of which is sort of a mauve shimmer and one is a true soft copper, a matte pink, which I think is a great crease shade, and a deep matte brownie plum, which again, stellar pigmentation. All of these, aside from those cream shades, fantastic pigmentation, and I think make a beautiful, well-coordinated eye look. I actually have a tutorial coming up soon where I use this palette, and I'm in love with the look it made. So those are the eyeshadows. The blushes, again, same quality. They look very similar to these duos, but same quality, very smooth, pigmented. They are both shimmery though, so you really don't have that matte option, which some might really like, but still, they are great products that come in this palette. And then the 2 lip products here at the bottom, 1 pink, 1 nude. You do get a little bit of diversity with the pink, adds a little more pigmentation than the nude. They are still very distinguishable when you wear, they do create 2 different looks when you pick one or both to wear. And prices with these always vary on bhcosmetics.com. I don't think it ever gets to be more than $12, but my complete set with this, the lipstick and the brush, was like $7.50. So you always need to look for the best deal, but because prices can vary, but even still, I would say this is totally worth it because it made a gorgeous look. And then the lipstick that came in this is their Cream Lux Lipstick. Have not tried this line yet, and the shade it came with is Forever Nude. Pretty much a very basic matte, slightly cream finish nude shade. I'm not in love with the color for me, but in general, as my first sampling of this lipstick line, I do have to say it's really creamy, not super long lasting. I'd give it like an hour and a half before it wears off totally, but it's a pretty okay lipstick. And my last products are from e.l.f. Here are the Lip Balm Tints. I wanted to pick up these because they are very similar to the M Cosmetics, or at least they look like it, so I wanted to give them a try. Here I have the Pillow Plush Cushy Lip Balm from M Cosmetics in the shade Vanilla, and this is the e.l.f. Lip Balm in it is in the shade Nude. And you can see they look very similar in the pot. The e.l.f. is a little bit bit creamier, a little more opaque when worn on the lips, and in general I find that the M lasts a little bit longer. It doesn't have a sticky texture, neither of them do, but the e.l.f. doesn't tend to stay in place, whereas the M definitely does. I find I have to reapply less often with the M, and that's just not the case with the e.l.f. I find it bunching up around the corners of my lips, as well as the edges of my lips whenever I, you know, blot, I guess, with my lips. And so that is one downside. This is $2, this is $14, so you are paying for what you get, but they are very similar products if you wanted to try and dupe them. And the other shade I got from the e.l.f. Lip Tint Balm, whatever, is in the shade Berry. Again, this is where I noticed that problem with it moving on my lips, was because as I would blot throughout the day, I would just get this super opaque line around my lips. And so if you're wearing it over a lipstick, it might not be that bad, but worn alone, they're wonderfully pigmented, but it's pretty evident as they start to move throughout the day because they are so pigmented. So it's something to watch out for. They are pretty moisturizing, which is a great aspect of a $2 lip balm, but even still, if you get something that's super pigmented, it may run on your lips. And the last products were very requested. These are these Smudge Pots, and I have more of these coming. When I initially placed this order, e.l.f. screwed it up a little bit, and so they are sending the other shades that I got. But for now, I have these shades, Cruisin' Chic and Poppin' Party. Cruisin' Chic is a light taupe champagne kind of shade, and Poppin' Party is a purple. I'm wearing both of these on my eyes right now, and I can say after days of consecutive, well, I mean, I took it off in between the days, but after wearing them for multiple days in a row, multiple different ways, over primer, without primer, these don't crease. I'm very impressed with them, so I'm going to do a separate review where I talk more about them and I have a little bit more of the shade range to show you, because these first impressions are pretty stinking great. So look forward to another review on those, but aside from that, I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've gotten in the mail lately and learning more about what I think of each of them in terms of reviews and whether or not I think you should purchase them if you're interested. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!